My name is Jeff Friedman. I'm the owner of Webtego, a web development firm here in Cleveland, and we are one of the hosts of Midtown Brews. And to me, Midtown Brews is a great place to connect with people and talk about all kinds of issues that are really important to a lot of people and different people's passions. And I'll give you a great story. When I had the fortune of speaking at a Midtown Brews about climate change, I'm also a volunteer presenter with an organization called the Climate Project. And the Climate Project, it's Al Gore's organization that he started after An Inconvenient Truth came out. And he trained 1,000 people in this country to go out and deliver his presentation. This is an example of one of the great things that you can find at Midtown Brews. I gave a talk about climate change, a very short talk, and talked about my experience at the training. And one of the things that I put out to the audience was to help me find places to give the presentation. Well, from that 1.5 hour talk that I gave at Midtown Brews, I found around 24 places to speak. And as a result of those 24 places to speak that I got from that one Midtown Brews, that has snowballed into others, and I have actually have not had to look for one place to speak other than that one Midtown Brews. So it was great to be able to speak at Midtown Brews and connect with a group of people that then put me in touch with all of the people that they're connected to, and then it snowballed from there. As far as climate change, I'm still out giving the presentations. I have two coming up, one on April 19th and one on June 1st, I believe. April 19th is at Chagrin Falls Town Hall, and June 1st is at the Orange Village City Council. And both events are open to the public. And climate change is becoming more and more relevant every day. One of the interesting things that's happened in the last week is that out in California and Oregon, they are now putting a ban on salmon fishing with the full support of the fishing industry, because the populations, I'm not sure if this number is correct, but I think I read that they're less than 6% of what they were 5 years ago. And so there's now a ban on fishing to try and rebuild the population. And one of the things that I've been thinking about lately in terms of climate change and the broader scale of how we're treating the planet is, growing up you always heard the phrase, there are plenty of fish in the sea. And it's interesting and alarming that that phrase really no longer holds true, with certain populations of fish that are being overfished, and then you have certain populations that are that store the mercury that is polluting the waters. And it's interesting. This weekend, I just discovered the Monterey Bay Aquarium put out a guide to what fish you can eat, what fish you should avoid. And it's interesting that we're dealing with all over the planet different plant and animal species that they're either endangered, or their populations are very low, or they're contaminated, and you look back at all the root causes, and it's all because of behaviors that we've adopted. And the most important things that I talk about in terms of climate change, after giving the facts around what we do know, there are two really important things that I leave people with. And the two things that people can do. And it's really simple. The first thing is to keep the conversation going, keep learning, and keep talking about these issues. The second thing, it's really easy to do, and it's the most important thing you can do, and that's start doing something. Start doing something to reduce your footprint. Start using more efficient appliances, more efficient lighting, whatever it is, but starting is the most important thing to changing our behavior and changing the impact that we're having on this planet. Not sure where to go from here.